Alright, what is good everybody? It's your boy Darsora, and I'm super excited to talk about some Mandalorian Season 2 news that we got directly from the actor of Moff Gideon. Now, 3 days ago, the actor Moff Gideon did an interview with comicbook.com, which is a very well-known and credible website, and they talked about Season 2 of The Mandalorian. And even though they tried to get him to spill the beans on a lot of things about the season, he did not budge. But he did tell us about one thing in particular that has me very excited. He says that Season 2 is going to feature major and epic lightsaber action. Now, at the end of Season 1, we've seen Moff Gideon pry himself out of that TIE fighter with the Darksaber, which, knowing his ties to Mandalore and the fact that the Darksaber is pretty much the lightsaber of Mandalore, you have to assume that Moff Gideon is very well versed in combat with the Darksaber and could definitely take on a Jedi or someone who is a lightsaber wielder. Now, talking about that, if Season 2 is going to feature, major and epic lightsaber action, who would be the lightsaber wielder that he would fight? Now, there were a lot of rumors in the past weeks and months about Luke Skywalker appearing in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and I think it's very likely because the events that take place in The Mandalorian are about 5 years or so after Return of the Jedi, so we would have a prime Luke Skywalker who's still what we remember him from the original trilogy, but even stronger, and we get to see what happens to him right after the original trilogy, before what we got in the sequel trilogy that a lot of people weren't the biggest fans of. I didn't hate it, but I definitely missed that classic Luke Skywalker, and I would love to see him in The Mandalorian. This show was great, and the fact that there's going to be major and epic lightsaber action, it definitely, seems to be Luke is the number one contender to provide that epic action, since he is the strongest lightsaber wielder at the very known moment, in this timeline. So besides him, I think, Baby Yoda is out of the question. So I've seen this article talk about that a little bit. The actor Moff Gideon says, Baby Yoda will probably be a little bit curious about the Darksaber when he sees it, and you'll have to watch to find out, what happens. But I think Baby Yoda being a lightsaber wielder this early would just be a little too much for me to handle. I think it would be adorable because Baby Yoda is just too freaking cute, but I would not want him to be the lightsaber wielder that, Moff Gideon fights. I think another possible outcome, though, could be Leia. Now, in The Rise of Skywalker, we got to see Luke and Leia train, and Leia trained to become a lightsaber wielder and a Jedi. She's very strong with the Force, being, the daughter of Anakin Skywalker. So I would love to see, during this timeline while she's going through her training, when she's out and about, she has to use this lightsaber and get into action, and do her duty. And I would love to see that. I think it would be something that a lot of fans would really enjoy, especially after The Rise of Skywalker. Like, seeing Leia with the lightsaber and her go down the Jedi path is something that I would love to see more of, and we could definitely get it in this Season 2 and just in this show in general. Now, besides Luke and Leia, the only thing I could really think of, unless they create a new character, is have one of the already established characters from Season 2, become proficient in lightsaber action. Now, I think that would be definitely something I would like the least out of all the options I discussed, just because I don't think anyone would be able to learn that quickly. You could have Luke or Leia or someone, that's really established train them, which would be cool and would be definitely a very fun arc to explore. But unless that's going to be all of Season 2, I really wouldn't want to see it too much, just because it would be very time consuming, and I think the show has already set a really good pace, and I think that would not be as fun as, bringing back like Luke or Leia and having them get straight into the action with Moff Gideon, and having the, already established characters interact with them, and have Luke and Leia or, someone like that discover Baby Yoda and see how strong he is with the Force. And especially like Luke, right, he has ties to actual Yoda. So, he would be really, really, interested and intrigued by, the child. And I think that would just be awesome. Now I want to know what you guys think. Would you like to see Luke or Leia return? Would you like them to design a new character? Would you like Baby Yoda to be slashing fools up with the lightsaber, cutting people up? What would you like to see? And how do you feel about this news, hearing that there is going to be lightsaber action in season 2? I'm personally really excited because I like the Mandalorian a lot. I really like how the Mandalorians fight. I really like that scene between the bounty hunters and the Mandalorians. And I'm also a really big fan of the disruptor rifle that Mando uses himself. I really love watching him just disintegrate people with that gun. But I am definitely missing some lightsaber action. The sequel trilogy didn't really have great lightsaber duels. I kind of liked, the scene in Rise of Skywalker where Kylo and Rey fight. I think it's cool, on the Death Star wreckage. But it definitely lacked a lot of really good lightsaber duels. I think the prequels do it the best, and the original trilogy has some really good ones too. So the fact that I haven't really seen too many great lightsaber duels in action in a really long time, I would love to see it in this new season. So I'm super excited. I know you guys will be too. Drop a comment below and let me know what you guys think. And as always, may the Force be with you. I'll see you guys next time.